Have you noticed how loud your own mind can be? You lie down to sleep, and suddenly you're replaying a conversation from 3 years ago. You're about to send a text, and your brain runs through 15 different ways it could go wrong. You make a decision, and 5 minutes later you're already questioning it. If this happens to you, it doesn't mean you're broken. It doesn't mean you have anxiety or any disorder. In fact, it's more common than you think. We live in an era where the mind never gets permission to stop. There's always another thought to chase, another scenario to simulate, another mistake to replay. Our thoughts pile up like unread messages, and we never clear the inbox. But this habit, this constant mental noise, wasn't always working against us. Our ancestors needed to rehearse danger before it happened. Replaying, predicting, worrying, it kept them alive. But today it's keeping us awake at 2 a.m. for no reason at all. According to researchers at the University of Michigan, the average person spends nearly half of their waking hours thinking about something other than what they're doing right now, and that wandering mind is directly linked to lower happiness. Half of your entire day. Now imagine what that mental noise is costing you in decisions, in sleep, in peace. But what if there was a way to switch it off? Not forever. Not to become emotionless, but to train your mind to go silent on command, the same way you'd turn down the volume on a speaker. This technique isn't a new age invention. It's centuries old, and it comes from the training halls of Japanese martial arts. Its name is Mokusō. Mokusō means silent meditation, and in Kendo and karate dojos across Japan, practitioners sit in stillness before and after every single practice. Not to relax, to reset. And that's what we're talking about today. Before we continue, thank you to everyone who's been supporting this channel, liking, commenting, sharing. It genuinely means a lot. Now tell me in the comments, what's the thought that keeps coming back to you the most? A conversation, a decision, a fear? Drop it below. Now, back to the video. Chapter 1. The Story of Mia. Mia Reyes was 22 years old when she realized her own mind had become her biggest obstacle. She wasn't unintelligent. Far from it. She had strong instincts, sharp ideas, and a genuine talent for design. The problem wasn't ability. The problem was that Mia couldn't make a decision without dismantling it first. She'd write an email, then reread it 10 times, imagining every possible way it could be misunderstood. She'd finish a project, then spend the night convinced it wasn't good enough, even when her clients loved it. She'd have a 5-minute conversation, then spend 2 hours after replaying every word, searching for hidden meaning that was never there. And Mia had a dream. She wanted to launch her own design studio. Not someday. Soon. But every time she got close to starting, her mind would flood with worst-case scenarios. What if no one hires me? What if I fail publicly? What if my old co-workers see and laugh? Her friends noticed. Mia, just send the proposal already. You've rewritten it 5 times. They meant it kindly, but every comment landed like proof that something was wrong with her. Her parents were supportive, but even they'd say things like, Mia, you think too much, just relax. As if relaxing were something you could simply decide to do. The truth is, Mia knew she was talented. She could feel it. But she couldn't access that talent, because the moment she tried to act, her mind hijacked her with noise. You know that feeling when you're supposed to be doing something important, but your brain keeps rehearsing arguments that haven't even happened yet. Mia spent hours in her head, imagining clients rejecting her, imagining her savings running out, imagining everyone finding out she wasn't as capable as they thought. Meanwhile, the studio stayed a folder on her laptop. The website stayed unfinished. The dream stayed exactly where it had always been. Nowhere. Until one evening, after canceling a client call out of pure panic, Mia broke down. She was tired of overthinking everything into paralysis. But instead of shutting down completely, she did something different. She called her older brother, who trained in Kendo, and asked him for help. Chapter 2. The Meeting at the Dojo. Her brother didn't lecture her. He just said, "Come to my dojo tomorrow morning and meet my sensei." Mia almost said no. She'd never done martial arts in her life. But she was desperate enough to say yes. The next morning, she walked into a quiet training hall and met Sensei Hiroshi Watanabe, a man in his 60s with a calm so complete it felt almost physical. He wasn't intimidating. He was still, in a way Mia had never seen a person be still. Mia explained everything. "Sensei, I don't know what's wrong with me. I want to start my own business, but I can't stop overthinking every single step. My mind won't shut up, and it's keeping me stuck." Sensei Watanabe listened without interrupting. When she finished, he simply asked, "Before you walked in here, how many times did you rehearse this conversation in your head?" Mia paused. "Honestly, probably 20 times. And right now, are you thinking about how you sound, whether I'm judging you, and what you'll say next, all at the same time?" Mia's eyes widened. "Yes. Exactly." Sensei Watanabe nodded slowly. "This is the same thing every new student brings into this dojo. A mind so full of noise it can't act. Come, sit." He led her to a quiet corner of the training hall and sat across from her. "Before every practice here, we do something called Mokusō. Silent meditation. Not to think about your technique. Not to plan your next move. To empty the mind completely, so that when you do act, you act without hesitation." Mia frowned. "But how do you just empty your mind? Mine never stops." Sensei Watanabe smiled, the kind of smile that comes from decades of teaching the exact same doubt. "That's because you've been trying to fight your thoughts. Mokusō isn't about fighting them. It's about not feeding them. A thought arises, you don't grab it, you don't argue with it, you simply let it pass, like a cloud crossing the sky. You don't chase clouds, Mia. You just watch them go." Mia felt something shift in her chest. That actually makes sense. "There's more." He reached into a drawer and pulled out a folder of printed pages. These combine Mokusō with modern research on the brain's default mode network, the part responsible for your overthinking. "Read this. Practice what I show you. Come back in a week and tell me what changed." Mia took the folder, her hands unsteady. "Thank you, Sensei. Really, thank you." Watanabe placed a hand briefly on her shoulder. "Mia, your mind is not your enemy. It's just untrained. Train it, and it will stop working against you." Chapter 3. Practicing Mokusō. That night, Mia couldn't stop reading. One article explained that every unfinished thought, every replayed conversation, every imagined scenario keeps a part of the brain called the default mode network switched on, and that network is directly tied to anxiety and rumination. Another article broke down the actual practice. Sit upright. Eyes closed or softly lowered. Breathe slowly through the nose. When a thought appears, silently note it, thinking, and let it dissolve, returning attention to the breath. No judgment. No follow-up. Just noticing and releasing. A third article discussed something Mia hadn't considered before. The idea that overthinking isn't really about the future or the past. It's an attempt to feel in control of something uncertain. And Mokusō works because it teaches your nervous system that stillness is also a form of control, one that doesn't require solving anything. The following morning, Mia tried it for the first time. She sat on the floor of her apartment, phone in another room, timer set for 10 minutes, and closed her eyes. The first 2 minutes were chaos. Her mind screamed about unpaid invoices, unread texts, an old argument with a friend from college. But she remembered what Sensei Watanabe said. Don't chase the cloud. Just watch it pass. Thought. Let go. Thought. Let go. She said it internally, like a quiet rhythm. By minute 6, something changed. The thoughts slowed down. By minute 9, there was actual space between them, brief pockets of true silence she hadn't experienced in years. When the timer rang, Mia opened her eyes and just sat there. She felt lighter, like she'd set something down that she didn't realize she'd been carrying. She kept the practice going every single day. 10 minutes each morning, 10 minutes each evening. And she applied the principle beyond the cushion. Before replying to a difficult email, she'd pause, breathe, let the first 3 anxious thoughts pass, and only then respond. Before a client call, instead of rehearsing 20 scenarios, she'd sit for 2 minutes and let her mind settle first. Her friends noticed the shift almost immediately. "Mia, you seem different. Calmer." She smiled. "I'm just not arguing with my own head anymore." 2 weeks later, she finally sent the proposal she'd rewritten 5 times, without a 6th rewrite. The client said yes within a day. Chapter 4. From Silence to the Studio. The following months, Mia kept practicing Mokusō daily, and her business slowly, steadily, took shape. Not because her mind stopped producing thoughts. It never fully does. But because she'd learned to stop feeding every single one of them. Her parents noticed too. "Mia, what happened to you? You seem so much more sure of yourself." "I didn't get more confident, Mom. I just stopped drowning in my own head." She learned something deeper along the way. Overthinking isn't a personality trait. It's a habit, and habits can be retrained. She learned that clarity doesn't come from having fewer problems. It comes from creating space between a thought and a reaction. And in that space is where every good decision actually gets made. By the end of the year, Mia had 3 paying clients and a small but real studio. Her old co-workers, the ones who used to raise eyebrows at her indecision, started reaching out asking how she'd changed so much. She'd just smile and say, "I learned to sit still." 6 months later, she landed her first major contract, a rebrand for a growing tech company. She read the acceptance email once, let a wave of disbelief and joy pass through her without spiraling into it, and simply said out loud, "Thank you." Then she got back to work. Chapter 5. Beyond the Studio. Running her own business brought new pressure. Bigger clients, bigger stakes, bigger opportunities to spiral. But Mia had Mokusō, and it wasn't just a morning ritual anymore. It had become the way she operated. Before every big decision, she'd sit, in silence, letting her first, most anxious thoughts move through and dissolve before she committed to anything. While other founders burned out chasing every worry to its worst possible conclusion, Mia had learned to let the clouds pass without following them. Clients started to notice something specific about her. "Mia, you never seem rattled, even under deadline. How do you stay so composed?" And Mia understood something fundamental. Talent gets you noticed. A quiet mind is what lets you actually use it. 3 years in, her studio had grown to a small team. She still practiced Mokusō every single morning, non-negotiable, before opening her laptop, before checking a single message. Because she'd learned that a calm mind isn't something you arrive at once. It's something you return to, daily. At 26, Mia was leading a team of 8 designers. Her employees would ask, "How are you always this level-headed?" And she'd give the same answer every time. "I'm not naturally calm. I just don't let every thought have a seat at the table." Chapter 6. The Science Behind It. Now, you might be wondering, is this just a nice story, or is there something real behind it? Let's look at the research. A study from Yale University found that experienced meditators show significantly reduced activity in the brain's default mode network, the exact region responsible for mind-wandering and self-referential rumination, compared to non-meditators. In simple terms, quieting the mind through practices like Mokusō doesn't just feel calmer, it measurably lowers activity in the part of your brain that generates overthinking in the first place. Separately, research out of Massachusetts General Hospital found that an 8-week mindfulness meditation program produced measurable increases in gray matter density in brain regions linked to learning, memory, and emotional regulation. Your brain isn't fixed. It physically adapts to how you train it. And there's more. Researchers studying anxiety and rumination have consistently found that the act of simply labeling a thought, noting it silently as thinking, rather than engaging with its content, reduces its emotional intensity almost immediately. This is essentially the mechanical core of Mokusō, translated into modern psychological language. This isn't mysticism. It's neuroscience wrapped in centuries of practical wisdom. Here's the part that might surprise you most. Mokusō isn't only about reducing anxious thoughts. It's about reclaiming presence. Think about how many conversations you've had while mentally drafting your next sentence instead of actually listening. Think about how many meals you've eaten while replaying an argument from days ago. We are so busy managing imaginary futures and past regrets that we miss the only moment we actually have, which is this one. Mokusō doesn't ask you to stop thinking forever. It asks you to stop being dragged by every thought that shows up uninvited. And when you learn to do that, something shifts. Decisions get easier, not because they become less important, but because you're no longer arguing with yourself the entire way there. So where is Mia today? Still running her studio. Still leading her team. But more importantly, she's a completely different person from the 22-year-old who couldn't send an email without rewriting it 5 times. She now teaches her own team a simplified version of Mokusō before major deadlines, and she's watched it change people the same way it changed her. And look, Mia wasn't naturally gifted with mental discipline. She didn't have some rare, calm temperament. She simply learned one skill most people never learn: how to let a thought pass without chasing it. And that's the truth no one tells you about overthinking. It's not a sign that something is wrong with your mind. It's a sign that your mind has never been trained to rest. Silence isn't the absence of thought. It's the space where clarity finally has room to arrive. If this video resonated with you, subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Check out the other videos on this channel. There's more here that might help you too. And remember, let the thought pass. Don't chase the cloud. Return to stillness. Be present. Walk with honor. Follow the path. See you in the next video.